Dimp Digital Presents Idle Game Chat.
Hello, Apps here from Dimp Digital. Welcome to Idle Game Chat. This is the weekly video games podcast where we talk about our impressions of the games that you can play today and react to the latest news from the wonderful world of video games. We're here every Monday on your favourite podcast app and YouTube, absolutely free. This week I'm joined by the free-time Dimp Digital Gaming Quiz champion. It's Tom Adkins, not Ed Cock. How's it going?
I'm all good. I've got me bits, got some stories to tell you about the week's gaming event.
Yes.
The great delay of 2021, we're calling it.
Nintendo heavy in all sorts of areas, whether it's delays or directs. Just a heads up, we are doing a test run of a video record of this. It probably won't make air, but we're just fucking about, so... it shouldn't sound any different. I don't know. Adkins gets distracted by things, so he may start pulling faces and then laugh to himself. And obviously, those of you that are listening won't be able to understand what he's chatting about. But we're just doing a few tests here, see how it goes. Get some equipment in if it all works. But busy show today. We'll get through all that. Patreon.com/Idle Game Chat's the place to go though, to support us financially and in pocket, as I like to say. Can go there. Or you can go to our twitch.tv/Dimp Digital and you can subscribe to that service. Hall is streaming. Paper's now got his streaming set up there.
Oh, Piper plays. Doing
some Guild Wars too. Yeah, he needs to do his Paper Plays, Papers Please. That's got to be done. And he owes us a Genji stream from about 5 years ago.
Could be Overwatch 2 by the time that happens.
I know. You've got to keep on top of him, to be honest. So they're ways that you can support us if you want to. If not, happy to have you on board just to listen to this. I was going to lead with the... open with the direct.
Just do a segment at the eating about what beers we're drinking.
Well, I'm drinking Bud Light at the moment, so sort of trying Stella Artois for old Tommy boy.
Yeah.
Wife beating.
Yeah.
Now, I've jumped on the Bud Light train for a bit. They're on offer, and sometimes I like a bit of piss now and again. So got 18 cans of that to get through. Not really into IPAs at the moment, so nice bit of cheap lager.
Beautiful.
So I was going to lead with the direct, but thought, what, it don't deserve it. Plus, more game centric here anyway. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury Plus. Now, we had a disaster last week. It was missing. You didn't have...
Could have been the main event of last week.
It could have been. It should have been, really. That should have been the main focus. But Snow, Royal Mail, Simply Games, all getting dragged through the mud.
Oh, God.
You eventually got it, but it didn't even come. It didn't even come Monday or Tuesday, did it? It was midweek by the time you got your hands on it.
It came Thursday, but I sent the wife down Asda to get that to purchase a second copy because I didn't think it was going to come for ages. Because we saw the posts on Facebook's group saying that our local pickup centre had been badly hit by COVID.
Yeah, it wasn't even the snow, was it? They were saying loads of had to self-isolate. And
about 54, apparently, I read.
Fucking hell.
For the buggers all locked up for 10 days. So I thought, well, it ain't coming. So Wednesday night, the wife done her shopping, and I said, tell you what, buy the game, and then once the new one comes, I'll just send that one back and get my money back.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, did that. I played a little bit on it Wednesday night. Thursday, I had a text from the wife, your game's come. Here it is.
So two of them. We've got a Steelbook edition from Simply Games. It looks like it may still be in the...
Still in its cellophane wrapper.
So that's going back, is it? Or what? What's happening?
Oh, no. This is the Asda's one.
Yeah.
And then I had another one of these that was just on its own that obviously came with this, all sealed, and then just took that back to Asda.
I gotcha.
Same barcode. I was sitting there thinking, cool, they're going to barcode it, but I didn't realise they all have the same barcode. So if you
Yes.
can't wait for your pre-orders, pop down to your local supermarket, pick up the game, and then when the new one does come, send it back.
You're
It just
laughing.
means it's faff. It's just you have to go to Asda's twice or
Yeah.
other retailers. But yeah, I got it, and that's pretty much all I've been playing pretty much this
Well,
week.
because we was in a bit of a funk last week. We had Dawn being fed up and
Yeah.
we weren't happy. Has this dragged you out of that rut, do you think? Or is there still rut-worthy intentions lurking?
It's still rut-worthy. It is good. It is quite fun, but it's a Mario game at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. It's not as much as Odyssey sort of grabbed me by the bollards.
No.
Like this is fun. It's all like you can. I've picked it up. I've probably played about 6 or 7 sessions now. I just pick it up, play it for an hour, and then put it down. It's quite fun doing that. But yeah, I'm quite impressed. I've only just. I thought I played it about an hour before we did this. Bowser's Fury. Because I thought, if we're talking about it, I better have at least.
Right, yeah, I was going to ask about that. So I'm assuming then you can just choose that from the menu.
Yes, in the menu you've got
It's not
two
a separate
options.
cartridge at all. It's all in the same cartridge, but menu jobby. Yep.
No cartridge.
That's in the Switch.
In the Switch, it's it's separate menu. So you've got the 3D World game, and then a separate menu for Bowser's Fury.
Yes.
It's the first time. I obviously never had a Wii U, so it's the first time playing Super Mario 3D World. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's to say it's 3D can go up and down, but it's very limited. I'd call it more isometric 2D.
It's funny enough. We talked about Little Nightmares last week.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know much about the first one, but I've seen the second one, the video reviews, that you can kind of go up and down. That's a 2D game that you can go up and down on that. So similar kind of verdict here.
Yeah. Soon, but it's bloody quick. But the way I play, I don't know. I'm sure you probably do the same way. But with these, it's the same setup as like old school Mario. So you've got like the levels in worlds. So you do like 3 of 1, 3 of 2, 3 of 3. I find like I have to get everything on each level first before I can do the next one. So like, I think it's a max of like 3 stars you can get, or bells, is it? Yeah, cat bells, maybe.
Kitten bells.
Kitten bells. And then there's like a stamp as well you have to find in each level. So I'm constantly doing that before moving on. So it's good because I'm getting sort of quite maximum time out of the game rather than sort of speed running through. And speed running, it does feel like, because you are on a timer on each level,
right?
Notably quicker than the Wii U version, which I've been watching on videos.
I saw Digital Foundry. There's an increase in the walk speed, like quite dramatically. So
yeah,
you can get around quicker without having to run. Where you lose a bit of a bit of accuracy with your running because you're sprinting and whatnot. So it's quite. Have they changed the timer to counter that, or have they just left it as it is? Do you reckon?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's based on
easy mode, I reckon.
Yeah, well, the different cat version. I'll tell you what. People say how good this game is for co-op. It is, but don't play with a 4-year-old. I picked up so many lives on here. Albert came on and he was just jumping off the side and costing lives. I had to cut him out. I was like, I'm sorry, mate.
So he's not ready for that level of game. He can dig holes in Animal Crossing, but not a platformer.
Yeah, he's not a platformer.
Put him on Little Nightmares. Stir him up. See if he likes that.
Really give you nightmares. To be fair, he played Manhunter the other Manhunter. Oh God, I didn't put him on that. Cool, that would be bad. He was watching me play Man Eater, which again probably isn't. But he did quite like that. Or bad parenting. But yeah, no, back to Mario. Very good co-op in it. It becomes, like I say, sort of like a speed running game.
Yeah.
But it's good. Very, very collectible. That has that sort of what's the word when you can go back to a game? The sort of
replayability.
Replayability. That's it. It's got very good replayability because you're constantly. And I'm led to assume that once you've done it, you can then go back and get more stuff. So really squeezing everything out of the game.
Classic Mario.
But, It's Mario, yeah. Yeah, it is very good. And then just played Bowser's Fury, and that I was very impressed with. Very good, very fun. It almost feels like a very big Odyssey level,
Yes,
almost like a DLC.
it's
Uh,
strange that they've got 3D World, like you said, it's kind of 2D-ish. You know, you can go up and down.
mm,
There's a few like exceptions to it, and then they've packaged in Bowser's Fury, which is Odyssey, which is like free roam of the
yeah,
camera, 3D game essentially.
like
Like
proper.
they're not
Yeah.
similar at all.
No, it's a complete, but like it uses the same control schemes and stuff, power ups and everything else that are still the same. So it's quite fun. But yeah, they really didn't they didn't have to do this. Like all these other Wii U ports, they don't tend to get these sort of types of add-ons on.
No,
Just get like the added DLC. But yeah, this is essentially like a sort of mini Mario game in its own. It's a really cool concept, like the way that Bowser sort of gears up, and you've got so long to try and get as many cat shrines as you can before he
yeah,
comes out and tries to blast you away. And yeah, it's just this huge, again, like a huge open world with multiple shrines you can get and just collectibles. I played it just now for like an hour or so,
yeah,
and I didn't even scratch the surface. So there's going to be easily sort of 5-6 hours worth of content in there, I reckon,
nice.
easily. Which, it's pretty a lovely little bowl, and it's quite fun to play. Like it's you sort of going around this open world, very lush looking, and then Bowser
That
fucking
big
kicks
fucker
off a
comes out. He's huge, isn't he?
yeah, big old, huge bastard. I wonder if this does take inspiration from that Pokemon game. Remember, that Gigantamax, was it?
Yeah.
They're like big Pokemon. I
Oh
wonder if
yeah,
it's.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh.
No, I'm just
So,
saying in the Pokemon realm, I saw that and it put me off Sword and Shield a little bit.
yeah,
I was like, I
that's
don't
how I've
need
got.
these fuckers growing. If I'm
No,
honest.
what was the paper thing of? He got quite far, didn't he?
Yeah, he got to the last gym and hasn't finished it. The thing was, I was like, right, get on, and then we'll chat about it when you've done it. But he's just not. He ain't done it yet. So probably just drag him on anyway because he's been playing Death Stranding as well, sort of chipping away at that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loving
Uh,
life. But
Loving life. Yeah. No, it is a good one. It's sort of, it's pretty much one of their biggest games, if not one of the could be the biggest game they released this year. Who knows? Got
well,
Zelda, I suppose, but
fucking based on what we
quite
saw
yeah.
in that direct, then it fucking
Mm.
might be at this rate.
Yeah.
Good lord.
But no, loving life with it, so it will continue to be played. Um, but yeah, it suits the Switch so much because it is literally just a pick up, do a couple of things. It's auto saves, boom, click off. It really is pick
Oh,
up and play jobby.
interesting. So I'm assuming Bowser's Fury has no multiplayer element to it. It's only
It
3D
is
world.
2 player. Yeah, you got
Oh, you control that little fucker, didn't you? Yeah.
his son
And
Bowser
he's
Junior,
yeah.
his little
And
cup.
why
I
is
don't
he
know.
against his dad? What
Yeah,
sort of son's
exactly.
that?
Yeah.
Imagine Albert doing that to you. You'd be fuming.
Oh, I'd kick him to the curb.
Off you
But
go.
yeah, Bowser. So I don't know why he's so angry and turned into like some Japanese kaiju,
No.
Godzilla. Oh, this way.
Yes.
But it's fun little bolt on, and people are sort of asking for more of it. Sort of like, right, expand on this, get a full game out of it.
Well, it could be a prototype for something coming down the line for whatever the next sort of original Mario is, I guess. It could be in that situation. Back to 3D World. Have you had any other than the aforementioned Albert incident? Any other
Caustic.
interest in playing with like a real player, or are you kind of thinking it'll get a bit too messy?
I think
Because imagine 4 people on those levels feels like it'll be carnage.
yeah, yeah, it would be because well, I suppose would it be split? I don't know if it's split screen. I think it's all just one screen. I think so.
Yeah,
Like if whoever steams on ahead, it like warps you to
breaknecker.
yeah. So you will get someone who just like don't care about all the coins and power ups and stuff. So they'll
Nope.
just steam for the finish line. And everyone else will be getting cost going, cool. But there definitely is a competitive element to it because there's like a crown you get. So whoever's like gets the most points and does it quickest gets a crown.
Right.
And there's like a sort of ranking mode or like a first place sort of podium thing of each level. So it could be quite fun. It does look. I'd be quite interested to play with a real gamer, not an up and coming
Future star.
future star. But yeah, that online toilet of Switch.
You still got it?
I haven't. No,
No,
it's one thing. Well, I'm going to have to get it for Rise. I was thinking
Yes.
the other day, so I'm going to have to get it for that. But it's just like the communication thing, like not being able to chat. You'd have to use their voice chat thing, which is dreadful. I suppose we just use Skype or Discord or whatever. But
I mean, it's
so,
poor,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
It really ain't up to snuff. That
No.
fucking pile of shit. Cool. Any other thoughts on 3D World and Bowser's Fury? I mean, we'll probably do final impressions in a few weeks when you've
Yeah, we do,
finished
yeah.
both bits off. And
But
is
no,
there any
yeah.
story carryover from Bowser's Fury? Or is it completely separate? 'Cause I'm surprised Rodney's let you do that. Just sort of sit there and play Bowser's Fury out of sync
No, yeah,
almost.
yeah. I did worry that. I thought it was going to come up with like, cool, Mario dies at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's completely separate story.
I mean, let's be honest, Mario don't
Yeah.
really have a fucking story anyway.
No, that's it. Yeah, I sort of thought that for a while. Hopefully, I'm not going to blow myself. And yeah, just a complete separate little story.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, 3D World's good. Pick it up. Yeah, there's not really much to say other than it's quite fun. I'm just glad these sort of Wii U port games are coming because they're ones I missed out. People always like, when you saw the score of this, it was like 96 on the Wii U.
Yeah.
So
Insane.
I was like, cool. And then IGN are chucking out 7 out of 10, so had to be sniffed at. But yeah, impressed so far. We'll continue. It's not the game that's grabbed me. I want something to really suck me off. really, really. Like, I don't know what was the last game that really did.
Well, Monster Hunter, probably.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
90 hours. If that's not a sucking off, then I don't know what a sucking off is
Yeah,
there, kids. It's 90 hours.
That is true. Yeah. Maybe it's that then. Something as big as that to come in.
Well, Rise not far away.
No.
Rise not far away at all.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back with some sort of quick final impressions of that when you've got round to finishing it. Leading into sort of sticking with the Nintendo theme, we had a Nintendo Direct. I felt like it was announced like not quite middle of the week, but early in the week. Got like 2 days' notice, maybe even less.
Yeah, it really was.
And they said it was going to be 50 minutes. You're like, cool. I think they hadn't done one of these since like the end of 2019, so it's been a while since they've done like an open one like this. I'll be honest, Adkins, I wasn't that interested. I was kind of sitting there and I was like, it's Nintendo. They haven't historically they've let me down with these situations, but then I do. You basically single-handedly made me think better of Nintendo, and I sat there and watched it live. It wasn't late; it was at 10, so it wasn't like dreadfully late.
No.
But still,
It's a weird time. I think apparently lined up with that it was 7 in the morning in Tokyo.
Jesus.
So the young Japanese were loving life whilst we're sitting there getting ready for bed, watching 50 minutes worth of it.
Yeah. So I was expecting big things. There he goes. And I'll be honest, Adkins, I was fucking disappointed with this.
Well, this is the thing. I think like
You fucking made me get excited over it.
I did, and I was so hyped for it because, like I say, the last one was September 2019. So I was like, right, all these big ones are all coming. We're getting Metroid, Bayonetta's going to be released tomorrow. Shadow Drop.
Yeah.
We're going to get this Zelda compilation, which up today it's a special mention actually. It's the 35th anniversary today of the Legend of Zelda.
Yep. What a fucking wet squib that's been.
Yeah, 35 years of toilet. Barren Wastelands getting Game of the Year.
Game of the generation in some cases.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I was silly really. I just assumed that they would go big and just really please everyone.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No.
It really was a washout.
It was.
So we started off with Smash. They said they were going to talk about Smash, and just straight off the bat, we got another anime character with a sword.
Yeah. Some of the worst voice acting I think I've ever heard. Like, it was Xenoblade, wasn't it?
Xenoblade, yeah, pirate, a sword apparently.
Honestly, I've got Xenoblade Chronicles, I think, on the Switch. I think they done is it a definitive edition they released not long ago.
Yeah.
If that's the level of voice
Yeah.
acting I'm going to be treated to for 100 hours, I'm going to have a real problem getting started on that and trying to get rid of it. So that was annoying. I hate the Smash bits. I really just like Smash is the idea of it is great. You have all those characters from different fucking platforms. Solid Snake, all these. It's like it's a big celebration. But I just couldn't give a fuck anymore. I'm never going to play the fucking thing again. Like
No.
they just keep adding to it. I'm not a fighting
They're
game
really-
fella anyway, so it really doesn't tickle me.
No, this is I was used to be so much of a fan of fighting games and sort of fallen off now with all these fighter packs.
Yeah.
Just sort of like it's just there's no point buying a fighting game anymore like day one because
How many Street Fighter 5 editions we had?
There's 2 or 3 now. I think when they came out and said that they weren't going to do this, and
They
then
did
they
it again.
backtracked. Mortal Kombat are doing it, Tekken have done it. God, they're all at it, all of them. But yeah, they're just such weird characters. Crash Bandicoot was rumored to be the character this time. And yeah, we got Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. There's been a lot of Fire Emblem characters, which I don't really know any of them or anything.
Nope.
Quite niche areas. But yeah, I sort of started it off and I was like, oh, what's this? Is this Xenoblade 3 or 2 DLC?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just straight up. Then they're like, oh, it's her in Smash. Right.
If they get Kratos in there one day, or maybe I'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that would be good.
But
Too busy dancing Fortnite.
that's really rude. Was that Kratos with the beard as well? That model?
It was, really.
God, away from the old
spoiled.
boy. That's the thing, having
done
kids
that.
changes you. He's fucking dancing like a prat. He wouldn't have done that if he was in Greece,
Exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
chucking women onto big wheels and whatever he was up to. Good grief.
And then basically after that, it was 45 minutes of utter garbage, really.
Yeah, it was a tough one to get through because it was quite long, and we had this cloud of the Zelda anniversary hanging over us. We're not going to go blow by blow for all this
No.
toot. I'm just going to try and pick out a few things. One thing I did want to, before I forget, because a lot of people would have because it's already been announced, it's coming out, we know it's happening, but we saw Monster Hunter Rise in action again. We've seen it a few times. It seems like, I don't know whether you got this same feeling, that there's almost like a wave-based defending mode that's going to be part of it, or perhaps it's part of the campaign, because the monsters were attacking the base and it looked like the hunters were trying to fend them off. So what did you think of the showing for Monster Hunter Rise, considering that's on your radar as a particular future purchase?
Yeah, I think I might have missed it, like watching it. I think because we were texting throughout, I was texting other people as well. The dirty cheat.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That I sort of wasn't watching at the same time, so sort of had to go back and re-watch it again. And saw that, and I was like, oh. I think the most, is it 2 or 3? I think is the most monsters you can fight at one time. Maybe 2 it might be. So yeah, this was like a carnage called the Rampage.
That's it, yeah.
And it's the Rampage.
Still dreadful voice acting in that series as well.
Yeah. I have to turn that to the Japanese, really authenticate it.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, it does look really cool. It does look like a world spin-off type thing, like the same style. I get like the concerns of how it's going to run on that Switch are concerning.
Yeah.
Even though that demo ran particularly well. It was at 30, but it weren't tanking or anything, which is a big change. But yeah, after liquid performance of World, it is going to be tough to go back. But yeah, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with how it looks. I feel like how it runs and stuff, and what they're showing off. Like the new monsters look pretty crazy. There's like a spider thing shooting lava. And yeah, this Rampage mode, I'm not sure. I assume, like the way they're talking about it, it seems like it's part of the campaign and that's going to be the big event. But yeah, it'd be quite cool if they did like a separate tower sort of defense type thing, where you just sort of wave based, a bit like fucking what's old Gears of War, get the old
Horde mode, yeah.
mode.
Would you be
Imagine
annoyed
that
if it was just
teams.
like it was random and it would just trigger. And they're like, "Oh, the base is under attack," and you're like, "Oh, fucking
Yeah,
hell!"
you're halfway through, you're like 20 minutes into a fight with bloody Rathalos.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and talk that to it out. Yeah, that would be quite fun though. But
Yeah.
again, yeah, would get on your nipples, I reckon.
I would agree with that. Mario Golf, Super
Mario.
Rush, it's called. So it's got to have a.
Yeah. I've never played a Mario Golf game, but a lot of people say these are potentially the best of the sport games.
You played Mario Tennis, didn't you? When it was on a free
Mario
week.
Tennis, it was a free week and managed to get through that campaign
Yeah.
pretty quick. Some bits of that were tough, like in the adventure mode, I think they called it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, sort of playing it was a bit like, it's just a Mario. Now I'm just playing a tennis game, and they get pretty boring because I'm not that into tennis, to be honest.
Wow.
But this one, I don't know, this one's got a bit of bollards about it.
Story mode, but you got to play as your me.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Come on. Who wants to play as that cretin?
Exactly, and you've got Toad, Peach with her knockers out. Well, kids, isn't it? But they had they had like a mode. I can't remember what it was called now. Sprint mode or something.
Yeah, like I think it'll rush mode. Yeah, so you all tee off at the same time, at the same point, and then you obviously the aim of the game is to hold the ball first, but it's a speed round. So yeah, that did look cool. That could be fun for a few rounds with some mates. But again, you're dealing with that Nintendo fucking online.
Yeah.
And that's not ideal. I've been toying with the idea of playing the Mario Tennis game for years and never bothered with it. It felt like an expensive purchase for what it is.
I was going to say, well, they never go down in price. So like,
they do, but not to like 20 quid.
No,
it's 35
like
is like you're
max,
lucky to see that. It does happen. And even then, I'm like, fuck that. The golf game probably also going to be fuck that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Salmon will have you for that, though.
He will.
Got salmon all over it.
But he's going to have to go without. No apps or that to play on the Nintendo world. But I guess that was one of the sort of the newer games that they announced. And
what was them detective games that had you sniffing?
Oh, yeah, Famicom Detective Club.
That was it, yeah. Japanese, first time coming to the West.
Exactly, yeah. And they've been, obviously, if they were from the original Famicom, then they must have looked like fucking garbage then, so they've done some work on them. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep my eye on that. That will be a side eye added, just maybe as a side project. I kind of like games like that. They could be fucking terrible, though. That's the thing. I've got nowhere have I got a reference point to say that's going to be any good or not.
Yeah, difficult.
What about if I said to you, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection?
Well, see, this is the thing. When I'm watching these, what they call directs, I forget about other consoles. So I'm just like, cool, they've got this exclusive. Yeah. So I'm sitting there thinking, God, I want to play this, but it does look a bit dog rough on this Switch. Yep. But yeah, obviously it's going to be coming to other consoles, so it probably would be one I'd get. But now I know it's not on. It's coming to other consoles. I'll probably end up getting it on them instead of the old Switch poor thing. But yeah, they're games I sort of dipped my toe in. I think I had one on the PS3. I bought two on 360, but that's still in its cellophane wrapper, and I'd imagine that will never come out.
No.
So yeah, and then three was on the Wii U, I think. Persola had it.
Christ.
Cool, yeah. But yeah, so that has got me hyped. Whether it'll be a day one purchase, I doubt it. Wait till that goes in the bargain bin for 15 quid.
Yeah, it'll have to be. They're fucking rock hard, those games.
Yeah, they're solid, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one to sort of just come out of the blue, really. I don't know, it must have been cool for it, I suppose, for them to do it.
Yeah.
Team Ninja must have been going, what could we do? I always get mixed up. Who's Ninja Theory is the one that do the Hellblade games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And then Team Ninja, you're right, got you, yeah. Ninja.
I'll get bloody confused with it all as well. It's not to be trusted, as I'd say.
But one of the stronger games on this list, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. What about this Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass? That's obviously been
See,
missed by the pair of us. Does the
yeah.
expansion pass
To be
go?
fair, I
Come
have
on,
been
Dawn.
Come on, get it, Dawn, grab it. When I looked at it, it was like extra costumes and one sword. I think there was like a handful of missions,
Yeah,
but I assume it's just more missions in the same area. I don't know if it's a new world or new level or something. But this is one that I've been looking at, but again, it just don't go down in price. So you're like paying full whack, and I'm going in thinking, oh, is this the new? This is going to be Breath of the Wild 2.
yeah,
And it's one of those sort of like what are they called, Dynasty Warriors,
yes, yeah, yeah.
where you're just fighting waves and waves of amazing amount of people. So yeah, it sort of struck me by. Maybe I'll pick it up if like I've got really nothing to play. I did have a little phase of buying loads of Switch games this year, so could potentially get bought down the line.
Yep.
But no, the DLC, after looking at it, wasn't the deciding factor. But
No.
yeah, I think there's a bit more for people that did get it, if that's your jam. I need to speak. What's his name? Adcock. He's like a huge lover of Breath of the Wild, wasn't he?
He liked it, yeah. He's really,
Yeah.
but he's
Did he?
a bit of a Zelda purist as well, so
Right.
he didn't like the lack of dungeons in Breath of the Wild, which is a
Right.
fair
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
But everything else,
Yeah.
pretty much loved it. But no, he skipped Hyrule Warriors.
I was wondering because, like, when it was announced and stuff, like, it did get me sniffing. To be fair, when it was like, oh, it's going to explain sort of, it's going to be like a prequel and explain the hundred of years of calamity or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's quite a good idea. Like, they had Zelda people working on it as well. It weren't just like,
Yeah.
right, let's have a license and
It was
all
definitely
fuck that.
faithful to Breath of the Wild and
Yeah.
and the Zelda franchise. I guess the trouble I had is that they was going, oh, it's going to tell the untold story of 100 years ago. And I was like, well, you didn't even tell us a story in Breath of the Wild, so
Yeah.
how you thinking I'm interested in that?
I
That's
fought
the
four
main.
lizards and then a big fuck at the end, and that was it. Done.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much that. Went up a few
Game of
towers,
the
Ubisoft
century, they're
style.
saying.
Open the map up.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, what am I playing here? The Division. But yeah, that's not going to do it for me. But
No.
we'll see. One thing that did intrigue me, one game that did intrigue me, and it goes against what I would normally play or be interested in, but Project Triangle Strategy.
Oh, they love a project name,
They
don't they,
love-
these peeps?
So it's just going to be called Triangle Strategy, is it?
Well, that's what the last one was. 'Cause do
Yeah.
you remember, like, it was like E3 or something, and they were like, yeah, Project, was it Octopath Traveler? And everyone was
Yeah.
like, that is the worst name I've ever heard. And they're like, well, it's Project, that's not going to be the final name. And then they were like, oh, it's called Octopath Traveler. I was like, right. So, yeah. I don't know if this is a continue. I think they're very similar because I think they have, like, Deb from the original Final Fantasy team. So I think they're going to work like the Final Fantasy games, where they're sort of not sort of in the same universe, but follow the same sort of ideas and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy games are about crystals and things like that. But the stories of the games are not going to sort of interweave or anything. So you wouldn't be, you can't. You could play this game without having to play Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, I think that'd
But
be good. But I like the they made a point of saying there's going to be some decision making in there and other bits and pieces that affect the story. It's not really my jam, if we use that
no,
term still in 2021.
yeah.
But
Got the strategy. It's very much. And I saw a lot of people comparing it to the Fire Emblem games, sort of where you've got that sort of level, like dual level playing field, and you've got a sort of move your blocks around. It's basically a
That's it.
strategy game, I suppose. Yeah. But then mixed in with, is it turn based? Because that's what the first one was, wasn't it? It was like very turn based.
Yeah,
Don't know if this one is or not, but yeah, it's got that sort of 8-bit, is it, or 16-bit,
yeah,
whatever it
or
is,
some sort of bit.
but some sort of bit, and then yeah, it's sort of got this. See, I like the art style. I really like. I think like the way it looks and stuff. It's quite a nice game. It's quite a huge deal. I think it sold quite well, that Octopath Traveler, because it was a Wii exclusive. I don't think it is now. I think it's coming out on the Master Race. I think
Yeah.
Gabe got his hands on it,
What's that
but I
out?
want a slice of that Octopath pie. But yeah, so that one has got you sniffing, is it?
Well, I mean, I guess the trouble is, it's surrounded by a cloud of shit, so it was going to stand out.
Yeah, it's going to stand out.
So we'll see about that. Does a Super Mario crossover with Animal Crossing make you want to go back to turnip trading? Or can you not think of anything worse than playing a Super Mario game on Animal Crossing?
Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, I've been popping into Animal Crossing every now and again just because Albert plays it. So I just have a little look at, and all the updates recently are toilet, like they're just cosmetic. And this is just another sort of it. Look, it's quite fun that you can do it. The only thing that I think will be good is you can use the pipes.
To move around the fucking island.
So you could have like a little fast travel system.
Yes.
So if you're sitting there thinking, cool, I've got to walk all the way to town, and you put your house the other side of the island, I thought this was quite a good idea. But other than that, you're just going to be cluttered up, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's going to be absolute cluttered. But yeah, it's quite fun. No, they need like something huge update. The thing that's annoyed me so much with that game is, I'm sure it would be too big of an update to have, but there's so much stuff you can buy in that game, but none of it's interactive. So, like, if you had like a little trike that you could ride, that would be brilliant. But you just do it.
In the wrestling ring, you can just like lay in it.
Yeah, you just lay in
just
it.
roll
That's
in
it.
it and roll out of it. Yeah.
So if you had like a little wrestling game, or even a little mini game or something, just make it more interactive.
Yeah.
Then something like that. But
static to.
Yeah, it makes me think, like, I remember a lot of people were saying, like, because of the time that came out, that's why it's... I mean, it's Animal Crossing, it's always going to be beloved or whatnot, but I think the timing of when that game came out, when, like, Corona first hit and lockdown was in, definitely exceeded, like, that's why a lot of people were playing it. And I think this proves it because, you know, you speak to people, like, especially in the Dimp ranks, me, you, Hall, Paper...
Yeah. Yep.
Logan, I think, like, we've all played it, gotten them turnips, we've all binned it, you know. No one touches it now. So
dropped like a bad habit. It was a bad
really
habit. Turnip trading.
It wasn't, yeah.
Every fucking Sunday, all week I'd spend trying to find a good price. It's like stress.
Coming over to my house and trampling on my plants. I used to really get out my nose at it. It was really funny. Be sitting there going, fucking hell, now that's going to take 3 days for them bastards to grow back. Unbelievable, but yeah, fun times that was. It was a good little thing, but yeah, it sort of outstayed its welcome, and it needs a bit of polish. So whether this will be, maybe there's some hidden gems that weren't in the trailer, but I mean, we just got a skin of Mario, and he looked like he was dying.
He don't look healthy.
He don't look healthy for skinny Mario, and then some cool little things. But the fast travel, that was the thing that got there. But yeah, I'm not sure it's going to get me back on a Sunday. I don't think them turnips are coming back.
No, probably not. I'm going to mention No More Heroes 3 because people make a big fuss out of it, but I couldn't be less interested. I've not played the first 2, so that's probably part of it. But
I think it was like a Wii game, wasn't it? Did it start on the Wii?
Fuck knows. Fucking re-release them. Then have a look.
Nana's playing it on the Wii.
Nana's playing No More Heroes. I played it.
I got on with you on this one. Like, I just think they look shit. Like, just cold, hard facts. I think they look. I don't know. I don't get, like. Is it? No, it's not that Suda 51, is it? Is it the geezer that? I don't know if it might be him. But they just look weird as fucking crazy. Like, I know that appeals to people, but they're just like a weird. I don't know what they are. They're just weird, and I don't like them. Get them off my screen.
Get rid of them. If I said to you they were going to show you a brand new Star Wars game, would you have taken that bet, or been like, no chance?
I would have gone Battlefield 2 coming to Switch.
Well, what we're going to get is a free-to-play. I think it's an arena shooter.
Is it third?
I think it's third. Third person. Star Wars Hunters. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the most underwhelming reveal ever.
Yeah,
it was just the camera walking through a fucking corridor and smoke coming out.
Yeah, that was it. It was so weird that, like, it's a Star Wars game, so, like, attention's almost like on it from the get-go. The second you see Star Wars, you're like, cool, Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Star Wars, and then it was just literally a title screen. You're like, right, and then they're like, free to play, and then you go, right.
Ain't good enough.
So, no. But yeah, very. This was the theme of this thing. It was just utter. It was fucking. They've been playing Assassin's Creed and they've gone right. Fill it with bloat.
Yeah.
Just bloat this bastard
Get
up.
this 50 minutes up. We want an hour, they went. We can't get it to an hour. They went, wow. 50 minutes will do.
50 minutes max.
He's fucking crazy. Well.
To do something. This is live on camera. Could break.
He's going to break the setup. It's been installed.
This is professional.
There you go.
He's done it. He's done it.
Done it with very little problems.
Cool. Dead air. There we go.
Listeners are fuming. I can't believe their luck.
Unbelievable.
Well, we did have, I guess. Oh. Go on.
I was just going to say about, like, are you about to talk about the Zelda?
Yeah, I was going to do the two big things, I guess, if you want to call them that.
Probably the best bit of this press conference was, I forget his name, I don't want to butcher it, but the Zelda man.
Mr. Zelda.
When he said about, if you're looking for Breath of the Wild 2 information, we have no news. That was like, that's so good. Like, why would... It's so good.
We have nothing for you.
Nothing for you. So.
Nothing.
That's the best bit of trolling ever.
Like, why?
Like, that was all, like, I remember, I think I'd put it on my Twitter, like, predictions I wanted, and it was like this HD collection, Breath of the Wild 2 information, Metroid Prime trilogy, Bayonetta 3. As soon as he comes on, I'm like, right, here we go. We've got 45 minutes of crap now. Now he's going to come with a heavy hitter. We're going to hear.
That's it. That's what I was thinking. The last, like, 10 minutes or so, this is it. Big boy shit.
Big boy shit. And he's going to kick us straight off with, like, I don't know, maybe even a gameplay reveal. Breath of the Wild 2.
Co-op. Online co-op.
Cool.
Only way you can complete it.
Motorcycles installed.
Yeah.
And yeah, just went, well, we've got nothing to show you, mate. So that ain't coming out this year, whatever you think.
You're barking up the wrong tree if you thought that was coming, you silly bastards.
And he went, why are you waiting? No, I'll tell you what we'll give you.
Yep.
The worst, well, I don't know, it's not the worst, but probably the least interesting Zelda game that everyone's played. Skyward Sword HD.
Well, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a real toughie.
Now, I bought this on the Wii.
Oh dear.
And I even
Nana's playing it.
Nana's playing it with her little waggler stick. Cost me 20 quid, I think, the little nub that you stick in the Wii remote.
Well, you had to get that?
You had to, but yeah, it was like extra motion. Yeah, it had to click in.
Oh, was it like I remember they had like a Motion Plus, was that what it was called?
That's it, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Right. It's like a little...
Nana didn't get that. But then Nana had checked out, yeah, she's like, ain't we bowling?
She was on the fitboard still, doing step-ups or whatever.
Broke her back, the poor old dear, on that.
Poor old girl. And yeah, I played about an hour of it, and I was like, right, how do I switch this to like a controller or something? And they're like, no, motion controls or nothing.
Oh, no.
You got Zelda walking around like that, just going. And that's how he walks about. He's just like that, holding it. Yeah. So we got a 50-hour campaign waiting for that now.
Well, they spent a lot of time showing you how the new motion controls would work, which I was like, okay, definitely not doing that if I ever get this game. Then they said you can use the analog stick to slice, and that was it reminded me a bit like Metal Gear Rising, Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
But not as good, obviously, just double shit compared to that. And then they did say, like almost like as a throwaway comment, you can it's mapped to the buttons as well, so you can.
Right. Oh, okay. I missed that. Andy.
It could be toilet still. There's no because you're still going to be doing that, surely. You're still going to be
holding that, and yeah. So like people were saying, like, how are they going to switch? How are they going to port this because it relied so much on motion controls? Those fucking Joy-Cons, they're just two little mini Wii remotes.
Yeah, they are, aren't
they? So yeah, I could see that it's a thing. But the only thing that interests me about this game, like, it's the origin story.
Yeah.
So that, like, the story does interest me. Like, it has its dungeons, which people are saying, like, it got really good reviews, this game.
Yeah.
So that does
They
interest me.
all
But
fucking do, though.
yeah, I
And
was gonna say they
then
get
you
that.
speak to people and they're like, oh, I hate that one. It's terrible. You're like,
Yeah, it's that Nintendo bump, isn't it?
yeah. What's that one that looks like anime? Well, don't. It looks like cel-shaded
Oh
Wind
yeah,
Waker.
this is the one I wanted. I
Right.
wanted that Wind Waker,
Looks like a
which was a
cartoon.
HD cartoon one,
Don't eat
cartoon Zelda, and
Zelda.
then Twilight Princess. That was really good. I played that. I played that on the Wii, and they weren't even sweat. It was 54p.
Yeah.
It's in it's in
54p.
it was 540p. It was the resolution. So I didn't even have the little dongle thing to make the Wii U 720p. So I had to play that on that fucking. So I'd like to see what that looks like. It was the muddiest game I've ever played. That must have been. I think I must have played that. So like, it must have been before the Switch came out. So it must have been 2016. So like PS4 graphics time, and I would have played that. So I'd had to come from like lovely 1080p liquid down to 540p mud wrestling. So yeah, I'd like to play those two, and that's what I was hoping today. I put on my phone like notifications from tweets from Nintendo, just in case they do announce that there's like a potential they could do that today.
Well, I read before this kicked off. I did read that, and this is a complete rumour bullshit, Mill. They said could be more news over the next 4 weeks. So
Right.
they might.
Well, there's a lot of anniversaries, isn't there? There's Zelda's today. I think Pokemon's maybe was that in the 90s, was it? So 20 years or whatever, 2030, or when was the 90s?
Yeah. 30
and
now,
then 30 years, and then Mario has its 35th as well. So yeah, so like you say, it does seem like that, but it just seems weird that they stuck a 50-minute. I don't think there'll be another direct. I think the way they've been doing it since those directs was just sort of like shadow dropping these trailers and then being like, yeah, that's coming out next week. Like with 3D Mario, Paper Mario was sort of dropped like that, wasn't it? Like a bad habit.
Strange stuff. What
would you prefer? Would you prefer that over a 50-minute direct?
You know what you're getting, then?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, no disappointment. I'm not sitting there going, "Cool, we're going to be getting everything."
Yeah, you just know it's going to be focused on said game, and if it's not a game I'm interested in, well, there's no harm. I don't have to watch it, but if I do watch it, I know I can't blame anyone but myself. I can't.
Yeah.
So I'd rather they did that. I mean, I kind of understand these when you've got a lot. Okay, there's a lot there, but a lot of it's just not up to snuff. I mean, it felt unnecessary, but I guess sometimes they're obliged to show a lot of this stuff by partners and third parties and whatnot. And for the 35th Zelda anniversary, a HD. If just think of that, in a world where we're living in 4K now,
that's the trouble.
It's an HD remaster of Skyward Sword. That's the big 35th. Be honest, 35's a shit fucking anniversary. Ain't 30. I mean, if it's 40, I'd give them a bit more stick for this. But 35, if someone keeps bothering me to try and do not interested. So that's that. And then they had one final surprise, which was Splatoon 3.
Oh, really? Now,
I didn't play original Splatoon. That was on Nana's. No, it weren't Nana's. Was it? No, it was Wii U.
Nana's U. Nana U.
Well, Nana didn't get that because she thought it was an expansion console. She didn't realise it was a new fucking thing. So she got frozen out of that one. I played Splatoon 2 on the Switch. I had it quite early, actually, because it's one of the first games that kind of appeared.
Yeah, it was
shortly after. I don't know if it's at launch or not.
No, it weren't. It was... Was it Zelda, then... Was it Splatoon, then Mario Kart, or Mario Kart, then Splatoon? I remember it was like the third big release.
Something like that. But I played it. I played through the campaign. I played a bit online with Salmon, funnily enough. But again, no voice chat then. You couldn't even try.
I did it once with paper. And we used the phone. And I remember, I think I had to like press a button on my phone because I didn't have headphones. So I was like just on the phone call to him, talking to him. And it was like the worst quality ever. I was like, I vowed from that day never to use that again. I don't get like, that must be the simplest thing they could do, is just to add a normal party chat. Like, how hard is that?
Madness.
All that money they got, and they're like, no, deal with that.
Bullshit. Naffing it. So I played it on 2, and then when I saw that 3, this is their main last big kind of surprise. Like, I've had my fill of Splatoon.
Yeah. It summed up that direct
It did.
to a T, really. It was just like, meh. It was like, right. It weren't even coming this year either.
No,
like,
no, 2022. I was like,
yeah, like, this direct's going to be.
But you've got nothing to tell us about Breath of the Wild on like the eve of the anniversary. No updates, just literally nothing. But 2022 Splatoon 3's coming, so we all know who's waiting for that.
So yeah,
Mad backwards cunts, aren't they?
They are. So yeah, just
50 minutes to two.
What do you give it out of 10? I don't know.
Below average. So if I start at 5.
Start 5.
No, about 3. Start at 5. Honestly, a 4 probably. Like, it's below average. There was a couple of okay things in there, but generally, like you said, the Assassin's Creed of reveals. And it wasn't even. I mean, it's 50 minutes. We've sat there and watched hour and a half, 2-hour ones that have felt quicker than that. So it weren't up to snuff. What are the sort of things that were missing that you was hoping for?
I mean, like, I'd liked there to be the heavy hitters.
Yeah, I think I was expecting, even if it's just like Breath of the Wild 2, I was expecting
just one of
something. Not just him to say no.
One. Like Metroid.
Well, that trilogy, that Prime trilogy.
Trilogy like that. Or I was really hoping for a Resident Evil 3 Revelations. There's rumours that that's coming. But maybe that's not even big enough. I'm thinking of a Breath of the Wild 2 update, a Zelda HD collection.
Yeah, proper collection.
Mario Kart 9 was another one. I suppose they're going to save these big boys for their E3 conference, whatever. But
Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, exactly. Bayonetta 3. It's just an update on that.
Metroid Prime 4, it's another one gone missing.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I know that they've had to redo that essentially, haven't they? Didn't they change developer or publisher?
Basically went back to retro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a real
so they've had
with
to
that.
pretty much restart. So for them, they sort of get a pass, even though there should be some sort of update. But Bayonetta 3 was just announced. It's that was 3 years ago, and there's not been a puff, nothing, not even. Not a bit of tit that she gets out every now and again.
No.
So yeah, just an update, but something big. Like, I don't know. They thought Splatoon was that, but it weren't.
No, it might as well have been Mario Tennis or Mario fucking Golf.
Exactly.
Sorry for me. It's that level of. Okay, it's fine. I mean, I was pie in the sky, but Metroid Prime 4 update would have been nice. Metroid Prime Trilogy, which.
That's the one.
I mean, I don't even know if that exists. I'm just led to believe from rumour mills that that's lurking. Bayonetta 3, and then this was never going to happen. But I'm still hoping. I've got my fingers crossed for this mythical fucking Switch Pro.
Yeah,
fucking Elder Dragons of consoles.
Would be lovely. Yeah,
mystical. I don't know if it's going to happen this year at this rate, which would be disappointing.
They're all talking about it's got to be well. This is the thing. The Nintendo seems to be so against the grain. Like, they never do what you expect. So everyone's sitting there thinking, they're working on VR, and they come out for fucking cardboard box and go, "Yep, you're going to buy that off us." Yeah. And then you're sitting there going, there's going to be a Switch Lite or whatever it was going to. There was did they? I can't remember.
Switch Lite, didn't they? They did the little handheld only.
Yeah, that's true. Handheld only. That was quite good. But yeah, they don't tend to do what you think. Like the Mario collection, everyone was hoping you were going to get.
Well, that fucking ends on sale in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
you can't get it anymore.
1 or 2. Even that, just let people buy that whenever. That's so weird. I wonder if they'll do that with the Zelda. Go, you got 6 months to buy it.
What are you doing? What are they doing, sir?
I know. I don't. It's bizarre. I think they just like to be different. They're like, right, what can we do? We obviously ain't going to keep up with the big boys at PlayStation and Xbox in terms of fidelity in that. So we've got to go against the grain. So let's just piss everyone off, not give them what they want, and we'll get a lovely port of Witcher 3 on there that looks
fucking Nana on the Switch, and then it's mission accomplished. That's all they're trying to do again.
get the ring fit.
Thing is, it's fucking working. That Switch is still selling like an absolute fucking beast. So, what can you do? Well, yeah, that was the reveal. It wasn't the best. Certainly wasn't anywhere near the best. So, yeah, that was a bit of a sting in the tail. In all honesty, 50 minutes of that.
Yeah. Well, I remember you saying like you wanted something to grab you by the bollards just to make
Back
it work.
in that Switch.
Back on the Switch.
I ain't done it.
Yeah, I've tried a bit. I've bought Pokemon, played that for 3 hours. It's not grabbed me by the bollards. Luigi Mansion's pretty good. I've been playing a bit of that, but again, they're just the game. Their first party games are these sort of games where you just pick them up and play them. They're not Monster Hunters where you suck it in for 90 hours. I want Monster Hunter to come out.
Well, yeah, it ain't far away now, so it's definitely coming. The biggest criticism I have of that direct is that I was like, oh, maybe at the end of the direct we'll revisit the hype list because there'll be a legitimate reason to sort of look at things, and I was like, nope, that ain't changed nothing. It's just exactly the same.
Even the stuff that's on there, like, well, I'll probably get it, but it's not. It ain't pushing anything off, to be honest.
No. Well, there you go. That's Crufts for that one. I had a little dabble this weekend on the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla River Raid update. I don't know if it's actually called that, but essentially it is River Raid. So it's a free update. It's a free added piece of DLC.
They're still doing DLC. Like they used to always have season passes.
So this is part of season 1 still. They've done the Yule Festival over Christmas and into January, and this is a new piece. I don't think this one's timed though. I think it's just going to be a permanent fixture. So if you bought the game today, this would just be part of the package that's there. Essentially what it allows you to do is go off and raid in your longboat. So you actually get a separate new longboat that you can customize. It's exactly the same, but it just means you can change the flags and all that stuff. You build a Viking hall where you can recruit Vikings throughout the game, like to join and go on your boat. Yeah. That just puts 3 or 4 people in there to recruit directly. So that's what you do there. These raiding locations are separate to the main map, so you'll choose one of 2 locations. I've only got 2. I don't know if there's going to be more, but there's 2 at the moment, and it will load into a new sort of mini map almost, and it's just a river with quite a few different routes for you to go down. It has a number of raid sites, and the idea is that you go to this location, you raid for supplies, you can get new armor, like rare armor, and obviously everything's not RNG'd, so it's going to be specific sort of new stuff, weapons, all that good stuff. And the main goal of it though is to get supplies. So when you raid a location, typically you'll get 50 supplies or something like that, and then you come back. And it's a mode where if you die during the raid, you lose your progress.
Oh, permadeath!
There is permadeath there, so you lose your supplies and all that good stuff. They've kind of. I remember speaking the impressions where I wanted them to do a bit more of the raiding and your crew. They kind of do it here. The crew members each have a level, which you can hire higher level raiders, and during the missions when you activate it, they can obviously go down. And there's a timer. Once they go down, there's a certain amount of time you've got to get to them and revive them. And if you don't, they will be injured and unavailable for the next 2 raids or whatever it is. So you kind of have to rotate some of your Vikings in and out as and when they get injured. So that's kind of what I was looking for, a bit of more of a level based type thing. It's not quite as in depth as I'd have liked, but It is what it is. As you're going through a location, so when you land there, you do one raid site. You sort of get a wanted level almost. There's a meter that charges up, and the more raids you do in that particular site, the higher it is, and the more tough the enemies get. They start putting blockades up on the rivers and ambushes and things like that. So the longer you kind of go into your session, the harder it gets. There's a quest line linked to it as well, so there's an armour piece or an armour set for St. George, I think it is, that I guess I'm going to go and try and get during this particular piece. That's it. So it's all based around the raiding, all that good
So I
stuff.
assume it's not tied into the story in it. Like maybe they'd do a bit, but it's not something that I would have to complete the story to get into.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's end game stuff. I think it just will appear
No.
there next time you boot it up.
Nice.
For those that have finished it, like it's just another added bit for those guys.
They seem good at sort of adding these sort of events to them. They're sort of like almost. That's I suppose because they've now not doing them as yearly releases now
Yeah.
that they do sort of.
You get like a
bit
year's
more.
support out of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of this for
Yeah.
Odyssey because I was sick of it, but for Valhalla, I was like, I'll try. I'm not going to force myself to play something I'm not enjoying, but I thought I'll go back.
No.
This is a reason to go back in, so I did, and I probably will finish that quest line at the very least because I'm kind of interested to see what that yields. But yeah, I mean, if you don't like the raiding mechanic, I know some people like found it a bit dull that you just sort of all storm and you kill everyone. You then
Didn't even get to it.
no, you find fucking no, you didn't. You find like a chest, and then you have to wait half hour for someone to come and open it with you because they're off doing something. That's still a problem. And then the other thing is like you only have a capacity of 200 when you first start, and each time you raid a location, like a small village will get you 50, a monastery would get you 150. So you can do like just 2 raids, and you're just like, there's no point in me hanging around because I've got all I can get out of the session and I go back. You can upgrade your cargo capacity, but you have to use the supplies to do that. So your 200 you just took, I think it's like 450 for the next upgrade. But every new piece of cosmetic, the Viking Hall upgrades, everything to do with this mode all uses that same currency, that is supplies. So you really have to like fucking make a choice. You have to go, right, I'm going to work on building the Viking Hall and use it for that because it goes so quickly. You don't 200. I think it was 200 just to upgrade one of the Viking Halls. And I was like, right, I've got to go again. So it'd be nice if they had just tweaked it slightly. So there's a few other ways you could pay for this stuff, but I guess it's all built around these supplies. So it's one of those ones where you have to. It'd be quite grindy, I think, to get everything.
Yeah,
if you want to do that. So that's one thing for people to be aware of. But yeah, I mean, it's there.
It's free. Yeah, Logan's still plugging away.
He's still plugging away. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the 100-hour mark by the time he finishes.
Really? Oh, blimey! He's not really normally a Creed person, is he? I don't imagine him playing them types of games.
No, but he's a huge fan of Vikings, the TV show.
Oh, is he?
Right. I started. Funny enough, after I played Valhalla, I watched the first season. We're trying to watch through it. And yeah, it don't half rip off that TV show a lot already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very similar. Wow. So I think that's what he's enjoying about it. It's like it's almost like Vikings, the game for that. But yeah,
they're in at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, nice little update. I've got the season pass for it, so there'll be some meaty DLC coming. So I'm kind of committed to at least trying all the stuff they put out there. So
well, their DLCs are pretty good. I think they had one on the Odyssey. It was like the Hidden Blades or something. It was a bit of an origin story and stuff. So good stuff. The Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I like these. The way they're doing it now. It did need this refresh, and they seem to they've sort of found a footing now, and the game's sort of they're getting better and better, and this is just proving it. Like, these games will be winning awards next year for like best ongoing games. So.
Well, it could do, I guess.
But, fucking Sean Murray be sitting there pissing up the wall again.
He'd be crying.
That's another thing. I started that last night again, actually.
What, No Man's Sky?
I was trying to. I googled what games.
How many drugs had you taken?
No, lots. What games are free PS5 upgrades? And all I had was Borderlands 3.
Cool, the cool one.
Yeah, the cool. Yeah,
that's the
Borderlands
gun.
3, and it was. And and No Man's Sky. So I just booted it up to have a look. But it's and Mortal Kombat 11. That's another one. Since watching that trailer for the film, that got me tickling my nipples again for more Mortal Kombat. So booted that up. Annoying thing is that these PS5 updates, they all come up with new bloody trophy lists. So I have to do it all again. Like with Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, the cheaters out there, if you do, you can like just load your save and everything will just unlock again. But
Yes.
it's a cheating way of doing it. I've not got Spider-Man Remastered, but
No.
yeah, so you have to go through them again. But God of War, even I suppose just because it's been patched, it's not like a PS5 version.
No. Yeah.
So that's not got new achievements, which I wouldn't mind playing that again because that was quite fun.
No, I'm
but
definitely going to
so
replay
yeah,
that after seeing that. That's going back. And
so
Ghost of
booted up.
Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, that's another one. Yeah, but yeah,
Frame
so
rate
booted that up.
unlocked.
Lovely. Yeah, MK it has a slight resolution boost. But yeah, it's just like it's so annoying. I booted it up, and then now there's like DLC. There's about 5 or 6 characters that I ain't bought, so I was just like, fuck's sake. And I bought the premium edition to start with,
Yeah.
and that only covers one fight pack, and now there's like another one and another DLC. So about 5, so that's peed me off. No Man's Sky looks, yeah, it's such a different game now. Like,
Yeah.
it started from scratch. I didn't import my save, so just like started again, and it's so different now. Like, yeah, just looks quite impressive. It runs pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably won't stick it out. It's just I'm in this weird mood where I'm just sort of like trying games, just trying to get back into something, but
Yeah.
nothing's tickling.
No. I mean, I've been doing that this past week as well. Like, Sea of Thieves, I've jumped on, done this.
Oh, really?
Jumped into that. That Valheim, probably in
Oh,
the coming
yeah.
weeks, we'll have some impressions on that. Had to go at that quickly, like maybe a couple of hours tops. So it is what it is, and just been fiddling around with other games. Like got back, started the Iceborne for Monster Hunter, but
Cool shit, yeah.
with no big releases that are bollard grabbing, I'm just sort of having a go at all sorts.
Mulling.
Mulling
Yeah.
around. Well,
Yeah, I suppose it's a time of year, isn't it? There is nothing heavy hitting.
no.
Don't know what's going to be next day one. I suppose Monster Hunter, the end of the month, March. But yeah, that's pretty much this week.
Yeah, that's this
I
week.
watched the Mortal Kombat trailer. Looks fucking good. The
There you
Mortal
go.
Kombat trailer. Good film.
Tip for the well-rounded gamer: get some
Yeah.
trailer critics in. See how you like
Yeah, all you viewers out there, this is the ugly mug that you listen to.
that. Week
Coming
in,
to you live.
week out. It will be live
Week
one day if
out.
we get everything sorted. We'll see. Got to fucking sort out this technology first. Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Idle Game Chat in the book for another week. If you stumbled across us, you can subscribe on any good podcast outlet or on YouTube. The channel's there. Idle Game Chat, just find it. You won't find another podcast called that. Other than our old feed, you might stumble across that like when we used to. This is about 5 years old, that one. It's still there in some of them. I don't know what these fucks are doing, but take it down if you're one of those. But yeah, nothing more for us to say apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.
This was a Dimp Digital production.